headlines of this hour on VTV News. National Assembly Standing Committee discusses several legislative documents. And the northern mountainous region respond to severe cold. In our world news, Russia conducts ICBM drills in the Volga region.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Trần with the top stories. Continuing the 42nd session on Friday, the National Assembly Standing Committee reviewed the amended law on chemicals, recommending a review of chemical safety and environmental regulations for consistency with other laws. They praised the Ministry of Public Security for cracking down on cybercrime and improving social order and traffic safety. In the afternoon, the Standing Committee approved the draft resolution on public investment capital allocation for 2026 to 2030 and reviewed the resolution on the Supreme People's Procuracy and the draft ordinance for the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum relic site. Also on Friday morning, while visiting and inspecting aquaculture activities in Vân Đồn District, Quảng Ninh Province, Deputy Prime Minister Trần Hồng Hà requested ministries and branches to study and propose simplifying some administrative procedures on the current allocation of sea areas in the direction of further decentralization to local authorities. The Deputy Prime Minister encouraged businesses to invest in preservation and deep processing projects. He also requested they gradually form a synchronous production and processing chain, increase economic value, transform the aquaculture industry towards reduced fishing and increase aquaculture, contributing to the removing of the European Commission's yellow card for Vietnamese seafood. Now, at a meeting on discussing the draft decree which regulates the functions, responsibilities, and organizational structure of the new Ministry of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister Hồ Đức Phước praised the plan of the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Planning and Investment, to streamline and reorganize the structure, with a proposal to reduce 46% of the departments. The Deputy Prime Minister asked for more measures to ensure that the new structure can operate smoothly and effectively. He also provided feedback on the merger of Vietnam's Social Security, organizing the system of statistical and specialized inspection agencies for the operation of the new Ministry of Finance. The government has issued Resolution number 25, setting specific growth targets for sectors and localities to ensure a national growth rate of 8% or more this year. Promoting resources, particularly credit capital, is crucial. The banking sector has prepared various solutions, focusing on areas that will drive growth breakthroughs.
This enterprise aims to export $1.6 billion in software and high-tech products this year, with a target of $5 billion in the near future. Key markets include Japan and Europe. It is investing $200 to $300 million per AI factory to reach those targets.
We collaborated with the bank to find a solution, discovering one that had never been implemented before.
Science, technology, and clean energy are set to grow this year, driven by new policies and major projects. Banks' credit plans will focus on these sectors, alongside traditional ones, to boost growth.
We are swiftly executing our credit plan with a growth rate of about 16.3%, focusing on energy projects and accelerating disbursement for key infrastructure projects like airports, seaports, and transport connections. We will also support capital for supporting industry, high-tech and green tech enterprises.
Last year, credit to the economy increased by about $83 billion, up more than 15%, contributing 7.09% to total GDP. With challenges in medium and long-term capital mobilization through stocks and bonds, monetary and credit policies will remain a key focus this year.
Credit growth for the entire system is expected to reach around 16%, with adjustments based on actual developments. We have communicated credit growth targets to the banks, which is suitable as inflation has been controlled.
For the second year, the State Bank has set credit growth targets for banks to align with market dynamics. It stressed to closely monitor credit in risky areas to ensure safe and sustainable growth.
International organizations and experts continue to rate Vietnam's economic growth prospects highly, citing strong institutional reforms and decisive investment strategies, even amid uncertain global economic conditions. And after Vietnam set an ambitious growth target of 8% or more for 2025, both Bloomberg and the Business Times feature articles examining these economic goals. The news website Wang Ye praised Vietnam's remarkable and continuous growth, noting that this momentum would be crucial for the country's next development phase. More than $4.33 billion in foreign direct investment, or FDI, was funneled into Vietnam in January, a year-on-year surge of 48.6%. Notably, the additional investment capital from existing FDI projects reached nearly $2.73 billion, almost 6 times higher than the same period last year. And this reflects foreign investors' commitment to expanding production and also their confidence in Vietnam's business and investment environment.
Phase 2 of this investors' telecommunications equipment manufacturing plant has just begun operations. The company is also exploring another industrial park in the province for further expansion.
Hanam is a key area for many businesses in the northern supply chain. Given the promising customer demand, we are continuing to develop production plans for the next 3 years.
Infrastructure development is a key factor for foreign investors to continue expanding production. In Hanam, 8 out of 12 industrial parks, covering over 3,400 hectares, have achieved synchronized infrastructure.
First, we ensure that industrial park infrastructure is fully developed. Then we complete the transportation network to connect seamlessly with the national transport system. We're also investing in social housing development.
Synchronized infrastructure is a major strength of key industrial hubs like Bắc Ninh, Thái Nguyên, and Bắc Giang. January's surge in investment shows foreign investors' growing commitment to Vietnam's economy.
If you look at what kind of activities are eager to come to Vietnam, I believe green energy projects, I believe high-tech assembly projects, and I believe also automotive are still doing well.
While infrastructure quality and logistics are crucial to Vietnam's appeal for foreign investors, securing their long-term commitment requires more. The country needs well-crafted investment policies and must develop a sustainable supply chain where Vietnamese enterprises take on more active roles.
The Prime Minister has requested that the construction of the Ninh Thuận nuclear power plant be completed by December 31st, 2030, or by December 31st, 2031 at the latest. And to meet this deadline, efforts are underway to update and supplement the Ninh Thuận nuclear power plant project in Power Development Plant 8, alongside the urgent development of a skilled workforce for the nuclear power sector.
Following the Adjusted Power Development Plan 8, PDP-8, the Ninh Thuận nuclear power project, with 2 plants, will have its capacity reduced to about 1/3 of the original plan, but will use advanced technology to meet future energy needs for socio-economic development.
Previously, the review calculations estimated each plant would have 2 turbines with a capacity of about 4,000 megawatts. However, the capacity of each plant will now range from 1,000 to 1,500 megawatts.
Additionally, new locations for nuclear power projects are considered in the adjusted PDP-8. However, with the need for 600 to 1,200 personnel to manage each plant, Focusing on developing human resources for the future nuclear energy ecosystem is also crucial.
8 potential locations for nuclear power development have been identified, concentrated in Ninh Thuận, Bình Định, and Phie. The Ministry of Industry and Trade continues to evaluate these projects for future implementation.
We will resume training programs for officers and engineers on nuclear physics, power plant technology, and waste management to support the 2 nuclear projects. Additionally, preparations are underway to develop human resources for the National Atomic Energy Research Program, focusing on nuclear power technology and safety.
The adjusted PDP-8 for nuclear power must be completed and submitted to the Prime Minister by February 28 this year, ensuring fairness, social progress, and a balanced approach between localities, regions, and national interests.
Coming up next on VTV News. The northern mountainous regions respond to severe cold. And later on, Intu relics on path to become World Heritage Site. Welcome back to VTV News. Now, due to strong cold air, the north and north-central regions will experience widespread cold, frost, and snow in high mountainous areas. Temperatures will range from 9 to 12 degrees Celsius in the northern delta, 5 to 8 degrees Celsius in the northern mountains, and below 3 degrees Celsius in some high mountain areas. Frost and snow are expected on some peaks. And the cold air will reach Thanh Hóa to Huế, bringing rain and temperatures of 11 to 14 degrees Celsius. Rain will also affect areas from Hà Tĩnh to Khánh Hòa for the next 2 days, with heavy rain and thunderstorms in some regions. The severe cold air has caused the temperature in the northern mountainous regions to drop, affecting the lives and agricultural production of the people here. People and local authorities in this area have taken measures to prevent cold and protect health and property.
In Lạng the weather is so cold that many restaurants and households have installed additional items for warmth and to avoid the wind. Some households even have to burn coal to keep warm.
I have to burn a charcoal pot to keep warm because I can't stand the cold weather.
As one of the localities with a large number of livestock in Hà Giang province, the authorities of Inform Commune Bắc Mê district have stepped up informing people to implement measures to prevent cold for livestock in order to minimize damage caused by the cold.
We met with people to inform them about cold prevention for livestock to avoid situation of livestock getting sick due to cold weather.
Phìn Hồ Commune, a highland commune in Sinh Hồ district, Lai Châu province, has had temperatures below 10 degrees Celsius for the past 2 days, accompanied by frost. To protect livestock, the authorities have gone to each village to mobilize people to bring livestock back to their barns, reinforce and cover barns, and prepare food for their livestock. In Lào Cai province, farmers are also advanced to proactively cover their farms with tarpaulins, clean their barns, and stock up on food to protect their livestock. They are also advanced to cover plants with plastic covering and increase measures to keep plants warm. These timely solutions will help minimize damage and ensure stable production.
Thousands of kilometers from Vietnam, in Norway's severe cold, a Vietnamese man carries with him an enduring nostalgia for his homeland's fish sauce. With unwavering determination, he not only preserves this traditional flavor, but also serves as a bridge, bringing Vietnamese culture closer to international friends.
People of Vietnamese origin truly appreciate this sauce. I believe it enhances the flavor of any dish. I've tried cooking with it many times, and just a few drops create an irresistibly delicious meal. A fantastic sauce. Fish sauce.
Fish sauce. Fish sauce. I can hardly believe that Vietnamese fish sauce is being produced in the cold, distant land of Norway.
This is the result of years of dedication and effort from a Vietnamese petroleum engineer.
I am Vietnamese, and fish sauce has been a part of my life since before I was born. It's a national treasure that belongs on every Vietnamese dish. I asked myself, why not use Norwegian seafood to create authentic Vietnamese fish sauce? That was my dream, to introduce this incredible product to Norwegians.
Despite Norway's cold climate and strict food regulations, Trung pursued his dream. He returned to Phu Quoc to learn from traditional fish sauce masters, gaining invaluable insights to overcome the technical challenges in Norway. After 2 years of research, he devised a temperature control system that uses warm water around fermentation tanks. Since wooden barrels are not allowed to be used to contain fish sauce, he used 4 stainless steel and food-grade HDPE plastic. Driven by a passion for the traditional taste of fish sauce, he created Norway's first salmon fish sauce. From 2023 to 2024, his product was exported to Australia, the US, and Asian supermarkets. He then successfully launched herring fish sauce, quickly earning acclaim from top chefs.
This fish sauce is extraordinary, a unique fusion of Norwegian ingredients and the time-honored Vietnamese fermentation tradition perfected by Mr. Trung Nguyen.
Transitioning from the oil and gas industry to becoming a fish sauce expert has been an incredible journey. Because now I'm following my dream and doing what I love. But when you know where you want to go, there are challenges. When you know where you want to go, the path will appear. Where there's a will, there's a way.
A special gathering of Mother Goddess worship enthusiasts took place in Hanoi on Friday morning. Organized by the Europe-Asia Center, the event welcomed diplomats, cultural experts, Vietnamese folk artists, and both local and international guests. Set in a modern open space, this unique experience offered participants an interactive and immersive encounter with ceremonial music and the spiritual essence of Mother Goddess worship.
Inspired by the concept of a mini concert, which focuses on emotional depth and personalized experiences, Gathering of Mother Goddess worship enthusiasts creates an intimate space, surpassing all boundaries. On the track of Tovan or ceremonial singing, the audience dances alongside spirit mediums and the renowned ceremonial ensemble from Gvangat Temple, the sacred birthplace of Mother Goddess.
Everybody who comes to the performances, I can see the enthusiasm, I can see the respect. It was very beautiful to see everybody coming together and embracing a Mother Goddess.
In Indonesia, we also do something like this. Every time we have a good harvest, we have also traditional performance like this to thank the mother of the nature. This is remind me of my home.
For many Vietnamese, visiting Mother Goddess temples, witnessing trance rituals, and enjoying ceremonial music have long been an essential part in the beginning of the year.
Listening to ceremonial music is deeply sacred, a wonderful way to start the year. Usually this type of music is only an accompaniment to the trance ritual, but it is spotlighted at this concert, making it more joyful and easily appreciated by listeners, regardless of whether they believe in Mother Goddess.
The event also featured displays of traditional attire and ancient tea traditions from local artisans. A guided 3 glass painting crafted by a national artisan was also showcased. In just 3 months, with the collective efforts of the community, the first ever mini concert dedicated to ceremonial music was brought to life.
When abroad, I often attend mini-concerts introducing native folk music and traditional instruments. We can also create similar events to showcase our own culture, and this event marks our journey to promote Vietnamese heritage through mini-concerts. Culture is the strongest connection among Vietnamese people, and today's event is a testament to that.
Events like these not only strengthen the unique bond between the Vietnamese people and their heritage of Mother Goddess worship, but also offer an opportunity for the world to appreciate Vietnam's rich cultural identity, further cementing its position on the global heritage map.
The opening ceremony of Yên Tu Spring Festival 2025 took place on Friday in Uông Bí City of Quảng Ninh Province. This is one of the biggest festivals in the North region that lasts throughout the spring. More to follow.
The procession ceremony was the biggest ever held to honor Emperor Trần Nhân Tông, a unique historical figure who successfully balanced his role as a king with his spiritual significance. This created a harmonious relationship between religion and life, all focused on serving the country's best interests.
Yên Tu Festival is gradually restored to serve the people. The festival is the voluntary participation of all people who sincerely offer offerings to the Emperor Trần Nhân Tông.
The majestic, mysterious, and sacred Yên Tu contains immortal spirit. That spirit is always shown in the products here. We rely on the values of our ancestors to serve tourists increasingly better.
This year's Spring Festival has a new development when the International Council of Monuments and Sites has conducted field assessments at the Yên Tu Monument and Landscape Complex, Quảng Ninh Province, at Côn Sơn, Kiếp Bạc Hải Đường, and at VTV Bắc Giang.
We are completing the final steps of the dossier so that by July 2025, UNESCO will review whether Yên Tu VTV Côn Sơn Kiếp Bạc meet the criteria for World Cultural Heritage. At the same time, Quảng Ninh Province is also researching to continue to clarify and enrich the extremely valuable cultural identity of Yên Tu relic site.
With 32 large relic clusters, including 6 special national relics spread across the space of Yên Tu mountain range, if approved by UNESCO, the relic complex of Yên Tu VTV Côn Sơn Kiếp Bạc will become a heritage story of all mankind.
Coming up next in our world news. Russia conducts ICBM drills in the Volga region. And Palestine coordinates with Arab countries to address urgent reconstruction of the Gaza Strip. Now moving on to our world news, Russia has conducted drills involving its Yar intercontinental ballistic missiles in the Volga region. In particular, the Russian military department published a video showing the movement of Yar's missile systems through a snowy forest. The ministry reported that the missiles were changing their combat positions on combat patrol routes under camouflage, moving up to 100 kilometers across the terrain. Russia said that the troops practiced defense against reconnaissance and sabotage groups of a hypothetical enemy. Yars is a nuclear-capable missile that can be transported on trucks or placed in silos. Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa said during his visit to Egypt on Thursday that the Palestinian Authority was coordinating with Arab countries to address the urgent reconstruction of the Gaza Strip. Prime Minister Mustafa met Ahmad Abul-Gheit, the Secretary General of the Arab League, at the organization's headquarters in Cairo. The parties discussed ongoing humanitarian efforts to assist residents of the Gaza Strip, and a task force has been established to oversee the reconstruction process, distribute aid, reopen roads, clear debris, and provide adequate shelter for families who lost their homes. The Prime Minister Mustafa added that Gaza was part of Palestinian territory and emphasized that Palestine's priority was to support Palestinians in the area to remain in the enclave. some 61 people lured by call center scammers to work in Myanmar were rescued and sent back to Thailand on Thursday. The rescued individuals included 39 Chinese nationals, 13 Indians, 5 Indonesians, and 1 each from Ethiopia, Pakistan, Malaysia, and Kazakhstan. The Myanmar Border Guard Force handed them over to Thai authorities at the second Thai-Myanmar bridge in Mesot district of Tak province. The rescue operation comes as Thailand takes drastic measures, cutting off electricity, fuel, and internet in 5 border areas with Myanmar, where scam centers are active. According to the United Nations, hundreds of thousands of people are trafficked and forced into illegal online scams across Southeast Asia. Streets in Bogota were car-free on Thursday as part of the city's fight against air pollution, encouraging locals to use means of transportation such as buses, bicycles, and scooters. More in the following.
This is what a car-free day looks like in Bogota, Colombia's capital. The city banned private cars for a day on Thursday as part of its fight against air pollution. Residents were urged to use non-motorized vehicles since only vehicles for disabled people, emergency vehicles, public transport, and a few others were authorized to circulate between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. local time.
This is excellent. The best thing that has been done in this country for a long time has been to have a day dedicated to the environment, to decontaminate a bit, to look at us, cyclists. I mean, for me, this is a success, a complete success.
During the day, the authorities organized activities such as bicycle tours and walks and implemented public transport routes to facilitate transportation to work centers.
Today, we are expecting reductions in fine particles 2.5, which are the one affecting human health the most. We are also expecting significant reductions in noise. We have a shocking figure: 89% of the city's noise comes from transportation sources. So on the car-free and motorbike-free day, we are hoping that the noise will be mitigated for the well-being of all citizens.
Bogota's Car and Motorcycle-Free Day is a long-running regular initiative by the mayor's office. Cars were allowed back on the road at 9 p.m. when the ban was lifted.
And as usual, let's move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.